Hello everyone, General here today, and we're for another episode of how to make magenta stained glass paint. How do we do that? Well, first of all, we're going to be needing wood because we're going to be needing a crafting table. So if we step outside of our house here, we're going to see lots and lots of trees like so. Sorry guys. Cool. So now what we're going to be doing is acquiring any one of the wood because we're going to be needing something called planks. Alright, so I've got some wood here already, and we're going to be placing my wood piece here, and it's going to give us what's called planks, right? Then what we're going to be doing is placing our planks like 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's going to give us a crafting table, right? And into a crafting table, what we're going to be needing, of course, is first red, and I'll show you why. Red, beetroot gives you red, also poppy gives you red, and finally, rosebush gives you red. On the other hand, we're going to be needing blue, which is lapis lazuli, and also cornflower. They both give you blue dye. And the reason for that is because when we apply our red and blue dye together, what do we get? We get purple. There are two ways to make magenta, or maybe three, but I'll show you two different ways in this video. So now that we've got our purple from our red and blue, we've got our magenta, our purple here. We place our purple here, and then also our pink dye we will need, because there are two ways to make pink, right? So the peony flower, and then there's also your pink dye that comes from your white and your white dye and your white dye and your red dye. Now white dye can be, well, you can make it through something called bone meal, which is, you guess, comes from bones, right? You find bones, crush it down, and it's you can actually get your white dye. Now, so that's one way again to make it. So you can make pink with red and white. Now we make our magenta. So this is one way to make it. You add the pink that you made and the purple together, and what are you gonna get? Magenta. I've already got one there. Now the second way to also make magenta, another way, is just to straight out get what's called a lilac flower, place it down, and you've got your magenta. You know, so now what we're going to be doing, guys, is of course making our cobblestone. So cobblestone is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, making our furnace, not cobblestone. And how do we get cobblestone? We get it from what's called stone. So you place, you break through stone, and you're able to receive what the remains of that as cobblestone, as an acid. And now we have our furnace to power it up. It's using our coal ore. So it's using our coal, which comes from our coal ore. And you find coal from breaking through coal ore. So now if we come here into our furnace, we place our coal here, and then we place glass on the top, which can be found in desert biomes, by the way, which means deserts mainly, but then you can also find them near large bodies of water like oceans, lakes, maybe the sea, the ocean. You can find some. And now when you place your sand up there, you cook it into what's called glass. Coming back into our crafting table here, we're then going to get our magenta that we've created, and we're going to surround it by glass like so, and then place our magenta in the center, and we'll get ourselves what's called magenta stained glass, right? But that's not what we're here for exactly, not quite yet. We're going to get our magenta glass. We're going to go magenta stained glass, sorry. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and ladies and gentlemen, what we actually came here for was this magenta stained glass paint. So hopefully guys it made sense. Hopefully guys you were able to really follow through, because it was a bit of a process. But now I'm going to wrap up here because we have what we need. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Pink tulip, guys, is another way you can make pink dye, by the way, in case I didn't say that. So thank you guys so much for joining me in this video. If you like what you see, please like, comment, and most important, subscribe to, first of all, get notified about more content like this, but to also give me the strength and the motivation I need, of course, to make more content like this. Have a nice one, everyone. Ciao.